For many small church leaders, the word budget can bring to mind confusing spreadsheets and financial terms that feel far removed from the heart of ministry. But what if we looked at the church budget not as a burden, but as a powerful tool? One that helps you manage what God has entrusted to you, stay focused on your vision, and support the work of your ministry. At its core, a church budget is just a financial roadmap. It helps you understand where your resources are coming from, where they need to go, and how they can best serve your congregation and your community. The good news? You don't need to be a financial expert to create or manage one. In fact, many small ministries like ours operate effectively with very simple systems. Here's a simple guide to help you create a clear and meaningful budget for your small ministry too. 1. Understand your why, more than just numbers. Before you even start crunching numbers, take a step back and ask, why are we creating this budget? What is the purpose behind it? Are you budgeting to be good stewards of God's provision, fund new outreach initiatives, make sure utilities are paid on time, save toward a building or community project? Your budget should reflect your church's mission, values, and spiritual priorities. It's not just a money document, it's a ministry tool. Start with prayer and a conversation with your leadership committee about where God is leading your church this year. 2. Gather your info, look back to plan ahead. You can't plan for the future without knowing what's happened in the past. Start by gathering financial records from the last 12 to 24 months. In the previous video, 5 simple bookkeeping habits every small church needs to adopt, we discussed using consistent categories for income and expenses and how to label things in a way that makes sense. Creating an organized system makes it easy to gather information quickly and accurately. Information you'll need to gather include income records, such as total offerings, tithes, special gifts, fundraisers, rental income, etc., and expense records, such as utilities, ministry supplies, outreach costs, worship materials, salaries, insurance, and any building or equipment costs. Even if your records aren't perfect, just work with what you have. Look for patterns. Are there certain months when giving dips or spikes? Are some expenses seasonal or unexpected? 3. Estimate your income. Be realistic, not wishful. This part can feel uncertain, especially in smaller churches. It's tempting to overestimate based on hopes, but it's better to be safe and realistic than sorry later. Start with average giving. What's the monthly average over the last year? Known pledges or designated gifts, such as donations set aside for specific purposes, like the building fund. New giving campaigns. If you're launching something new, estimate conservatively based on past experience. Remember, it's easier to add to your budget later if income grows than to cut programs because you overplanned. 4. Plan your expenses. Break it down and prioritize. Now it's time to list your expected expenses. Sort them into simple, clear categories. For instance, personnel, salaries or stipends, facilities, rent, utilities, and insurance, worship, music, instruments, communion, and tech, the children's or youth ministry, outreach and events, administrative, such as office supplies, software, website, etc. 5. Balance the budget. Income should match or slightly exceed expenses. A balanced budget means your expected income is equal to or greater than your expected expenses. If expenses are higher than income, look for areas to trim or postpone. Ask, can you scale back events or delay purchases? Are there ways to encourage giving or find other sources of support? If income is higher than expenses, great. You could use the extra to start an emergency savings fund. Aim for 1 to 3 months of operating expenses in a separate, easily accessible savings account. This acts as a vital safety net for unexpected repairs, dips in giving, or sudden ministry opportunities. Invest in equipment or outreach, or pay down church debt. This might all sound daunting, but trust me, it's not as difficult as it all sounds. So, don't worry if it's not perfectly balanced on the first try. Budgets are meant to be adjusted and refined. 6. Monitor and adjust regularly. Your budget isn't something you create once and forget about. It should be checked and updated regularly. Here's how to keep it active. Do a monthly review by comparing your actual income and expenses to your budget. Do quarterly check-ins. Meet with your leadership or finance committee every 3 months or adjust as needed, whatever schedule fits your ministry. And stay flexible. Life happens. Unexpected bills or ministry opportunities may come up at any time, so be sure to build in a little wiggle room when you can. 7. Embrace transparency and simple tools. Beyond just the leadership team, consider how you communicate about the budget with your congregation. Openly sharing how funds are used builds trust and encourages engagement. Share simplified reports. Periodically, quarterly, or annually, provide an easy-to-understand summary of income and major expenses to the congregation. Show how their faithful giving directly impacts the ministry. Be open to questions. Create avenues for respectful questions about the budget. And don't overthink the tools. You don't need fancy or complicated software to get started. You can use simple spreadsheet templates. I personally use them myself, and I offer a variety of affordable church finance templates available in my Etsy shop. You can also use a simple ledger. For the very smallest ministries, a physical notebook with columns for income and expenses can be a perfectly legitimate starting point. All of my digital finance tools are designed for users without extensive accounting knowledge. If you'd like to take a peek, I'll be sure to provide a link in the description below this video. 8. Involve your people and lean on prayer. You don't have to carry this financial responsibility alone. I've been there and done that. Don't go at it alone if possible. So leverage the gifts within your congregation. Form a finance team. Consider gathering a small, trusted team, even if it's just 2 to 3 people, to help with record keeping, tracking, and offering insights. But let God lead you, because integrity and trust are crucial keys for these roles. Utilize a treasurer. If you don't already, establish a clear role for a church treasurer to handle daily financial management. Remember, this entire process is an act of good stewardship, faithfully managing the resources God provides to further His kingdom. Continue to pray for wisdom, provision, and discernment as you allocate funds to fulfill your ministry's vision. Creating a church budget doesn't have to be stressful. When you stay focused on your mission, keep things simple, and track your progress regularly, your budget becomes a faithful guide, not a frustrating chore. Remember, your church's finances reflect more than just numbers. They reflect trust, faithfulness, and the care for the ministry God has placed in your hands. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. And if you want more small ministry tips and guides, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Speaking of helpful tools, if you're looking for easy-to-use systems to keep your church's finances in order all year, check out my church bookkeeping spreadsheets on Etsy. I've linked my shop in the description below. I also invite you to consider joining our community of small church leaders. You'll get immediate, exclusive access to even more resources on my website when you subscribe. You can find that link in the description too. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.